Don't do shadow work anymore. Do this instead. I've been studying the mind for 16 years now, and one of the main things that I've really studied is how language impacts us. And I want to give you some examples for you to understand. When somebody talks to you, right, if they come to you and say, oh, what you're doing is wrong, the language that they're using could sound judgmental, could sound criticism, could feel rejection, and it puts people into this defensive mode, okay? But if somebody comes and says, hey, you know what, Tommy, I would like to talk about, when you're raising your voice, how I feel, right? Because when you raise your voice, it makes me feel blah. Now, I might not feel so, in a way, judged, criticized, rejected, and I might be open to listening to what the other person has to say. So think about how you react when how people communicate, right? So what does that have to do with shadow work? When we think about shadow work or, finding our darkness, a lot of people shut down to that and don't want to do it because they feel threatened by the idea that they're going to find some flaw, something bad within them, shadow work or dark work, right? So what I realize is that when we go within to heal, we go find a little Tommy, something that happened in my past that is still reliving as if it were happening now because of how the mind works. So instead of doing shadow work, what I invite people to do is light work. Why? Because when you go within, go find little Tommy, that is a part of my light. That is a part of who I am. That has maybe a cloud, a language, a belief that thinks that he's not good enough, that he's not worthy, that he's not lovable. Something happened during childhood that part of me got stuck in time, but it's still light. The book could be covered a little bit in that mental fog because of something that happened to him, but it's still light. So what I'm doing now, when I talk to people that I'm working with and I'm spreading the word more and more, that instead of keep working as let's do shadow work, something that Carl Jung taught, and I love the work of going within and healing, don't get me wrong, into the subconscious mind to find our parts that have been, kicked out, have been repressed, have been ignored, have been outcast, to bring them back and integrate them. I found it that it's much better to call it light work, because it doesn't challenge us. It doesn't feel so threatening to go do shadow work than doing light work. So I hope that makes sense. Check it out. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you want to learn more how to do light work, how to integrate the parts of you from the past that are unresolved, check the link in my profile that I share a free training with insight and tools to start making changes. Thank you very much. Let me know what you think.